welcome to Sportscaster News Monday or Tuesday morning edition. Going over Week 14's Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns in a game that nearly broke all-time NFL records. You heard me right. In a game that literally had 9 rushing touchdowns between both of these teams. 5 for the Baltimore Ravens, 4 for the Cleveland Browns. This game ended up being 47-42, and the fourth quarter was riddled with excitement. The score kept going back and forth. The score changed 5 times in a matter of 2.5 minutes. You heard me. That is an unbelievable situation in a game where in the first half, it was an interesting game. It was 21-14 Baltimore, and then Baltimore jumps out to a 2-touchdown lead, making it 28-14 in the third quarter. And then after that score for Baltimore to make it that 2-touchdown lead, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson goes back to the locker room because of cramps. And Trace McSorley had to play quarterback for the majority of the rest of the game. During his absence, the Cleveland Browns, with Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, and the rest, were able to run down the field quickly, score a touchdown, bringing it to within 7. On the ensuing drive for Baltimore, Trace McSorley had to come in and play quarterback, in which he was 1 of 4 total for the day for only 13 yards. They ran the ball effectively, but still had to punt on that drive, in which then Baker Mayfield drives down the field and scores another touchdown. It was an unbelievable play. On the ensuing drive, Trace McSorley then injures his knee as he's getting sacked on a play that looked like he was trying to scramble, planted his leg, his knee gave out, he went down, sack given. Out come Lamar Jackson like Superman, right out the gates, down through the hall, made it to the field in time in order to take the snap so that someone who wasn't even a quarterback on the roster was going to be taking snaps. First play he makes back, he scrambles to the right and throws a beautiful pass to a wide open Marquise Brown, who ran it in for a touchdown to take the lead. Oh, hold on. Baker Mayfield wasn't done. With a minute 53, I believe, left in the game, it took Baker Mayfield 4 plays to drive the entire field and take a 1-point lead. To tie the game back up, with Baltimore. Well, Lamar Jackson had a whole 64 seconds and 1 timeout to make it down the field to get within field goal range of their all-pro kicker, Justin Tucker, in which he did, and Tucker kicks basically the game-winning field goal, a 55-yarder down the line to win the game over the Cleveland Browns. The Browns then tried some trickery on the ensuing play, flipping it back and forth, ended up being a safety, which gave the Baltimore the 47-42 win over the Cleveland Browns. You're still here? Awesome! Thanks for watching this stream. Please, if you have a moment of your time, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you're notified next time I go live. And if you got a few extra seconds, hit that description down there below the video and check out all the places that you can follow me, whether it be Sportscaster here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and there's a couple places where you can help donate to my channel. That way I can continue to bring all this content to you. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. Lamar Jackson played decently, throwing the football. He was 11 of 17, 163 yards and a touchdown. But the real story of the game was the ground game for the Baltimore Ravens. Jackson carried the ball 9 times, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's almost a 14-yard average. J.K. Dobbins had 13 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. Gus Edwards carried it 7 times, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's right. 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing for the Baltimore Ravens. Mark Andrews, who was pivotal, along with Marquise Brown in the fourth quarter, had 5 catches for 78 yards, moving the sticks and getting them to within field goal range on that game-winning field goal. Now, as for the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield had himself a game. 28 of 47, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And there was a little fake trickery play where Jarvis Landry threw the ball one time, completed it for 12 yards and a first down. Nick Chubb had 17 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Kareem Hunt had 6 carries for 33 yards. Baker scrambled 5 times for 23. Nick had 2 touchdowns. Kareem had 1. Baker had 1. That's right. They had 4 rushing touchdowns to go with the Ravens' 5 rushing touchdowns. And then, of course, Baker had 2 passing touchdowns. So Baker had 3 touchdowns on the day. Kareem Hunt had 6 catches, including a beautiful flat pass from Baker Mayfield, which he made the first guy miss and then made a spectacular diving play towards the end zone for the touchdown late in the fourth quarter. Beautiful play. Donovan Peoples-Jones came up with a couple big plays as well. 3 catches for 74 yards. Rashard Higgins also 6 catches, 68. Jarvis Landry 6 for 52. Njoku made an amazing sideline grab. 3 catches for 45 yards. This was just an amazing game to watch if you are a fan of offense. The Cleveland Browns literally nearly 500 yards of offense, 493, and Baltimore near 400 at 385. The average yards per play for both teams near identical, 6.8 for Baltimore and 6.5 for the Cleveland Browns. No one fumbled the football. Only Baker Mayfield had the interception, but Baltimore gave up 4 sacks where Baker Mayfield was untouched the entire game. Time of possession even favored Cleveland, almost 32 minutes to 28 minutes for Baltimore. And both teams were riddled with penalties, 8 penalties apiece. My goodness, this was a fantastic game. But what I really want to get into on this is the playoff picture, because this had huge playoff implications, being that the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens are still fighting to make the AFC playoff hunt. As we look at this, we see currently the Browns sitting in the 5th seed of the AFC with their record, and Baltimore just hanging out, being that this is now 7 seeds for the NFL this season in the playoff picture. They're just out. They need the Browns, the Colts, or the Dolphins to lose another game in order for them to kind of get into the playoffs. Now, would the Ravens be interested in the fact that Pittsburgh Steelers play a couple of these teams that they need to lose? The Indianapolis Colts and Pittsburgh Steelers play Week 16. Now, Pittsburgh has won their division, basically, and are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. But if the Indianapolis Colts defeat Pittsburgh, that would make it a chance for the Browns, an actual chance for the Browns to win the division. Because Pittsburgh could legitimately lose 2 out of the 3, and if the Browns win out, they could win their division. As for the Ravens, as I said, they are on the outside looking in, but very, very close. It's an unbelievably close situation here with the AFC playoff picture really kind of taking shape. I don't know with the Colts. If the Colts win out and the Titans lose, they won't be a wild card anymore. They will take the AFC South. And then the Titans would fall down. But the Titans have the tiebreaker with the Ravens, where the Ravens has the tiebreaker with the Indianapolis Colts. So the Ravens are definitely looking for the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the Indianapolis Colts in Week 16. And in hopes that the Colts don't win the AFC South so that they have a shot to make it into the playoffs. Right now, Baltimore needed this bounce-back game against the Cleveland Browns because they have been on a skid as of late after the whole COVID issue that they had where half their team was on the COVID-19 list. This game was something that they absolutely needed. Able to go out there and put up a ton of points on the board when this team just hasn't looked very good offensively ever since then. It was also a game where Williams and, the defensive tackle that came from Jacksonville, I'm having an issue remembering his name, I'm sorry. They needed to play well. They played effective but not great in this game. So hopefully those two big guys will recover from their injuries and from the COVID situation. And if they make the playoffs, they will be in full form because they are going to need their defense, apparently, when they make it to the playoffs. Peters also in and out of this game with injuries as well. But the Cleveland Browns looked very good offensively too. I mean, in the fourth quarter, it looked as though they could do nothing wrong against this Baltimore defense. They were moving the ball at will against this Baltimore defense. So, really, I come out of this game looking at Baltimore and Cleveland with newfound respect because Cleveland's offense looks absolutely dominant, knowing how good the Baltimore defense really is. The Cleveland offense just looked amazing. And quite frankly, the way Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards is running the football, they could be a very scary team if they make it into the playoffs and this defense starts to play well. I want to thank you for watching this edition, Tuesday morning, of Sportscaster News, going over the Monday night football game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, where Baltimore wins by a massive, massive point total of 47-42. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen, and as usual, I want you to have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.